bit more complicated. Like the color dominance exercise where we picked color swatches. We also need to do that for this exercise, but now I want you to also pick Pantone color swatches. So it's a little bit different. And I also want you to pick colors that signify these attributes: serious and formal, energetic and fun, aggressive and bold. And for each of the logos, I want you to choose as follows. So logo 1, meaning this logo here, I want you to choose one black, which is going to be from the CMYK swatch, and one Pantone swatch. Logo 2, I want all the colors to be 4-color process. So if you remember from the slides, 4-color process is another way to say CMYK. Little trick here, I was just kind of trying to confuse you a little bit. Logo 3, I want you to pick 2 Pantones, and it must be energetic and fun colors. Again, for logo 4, CMYK black and 1 Pantone. 4-color process for 5, meaning CMYK, and logo 6, I want you to pick 2 Pantones, and it must be aggressive and bold. So how you do that is just like we did for the color dominance swatches, we're going to pick swatches or add swatches, and the only difference is instead of using the color panel to pick a color, so for instance, I just actually want to be aware of here, I've also created some layers. So we have the type layer and the artwork layer, which is another way of saying tree in this case. So I haven't made the type separate like I did for the dominant. So if I pick a color for the Vancouver network, it's gonna affect the entire word as opposed to the individual letters. So here we have everything is black. And I can see that some of them, some of them are CMYK and some are just going to black. So for the first one, we're going to choose a black CMYK and 1 Pantone. It must be serious and formal, however you interpret that. So black, it's already black, so that should be fine. It's black CMYK. And we have a color swatch here. But I think the best way to go about doing this is actually to use the color group here. So, oops, that's the wrong one. To make a, oh, is that right? I have to uncheck this. Sorry, that's what's confusing it. Yeah, don't have anything checked. So I'm going to call this 1 and 2. Double click 2. Okay. I'm just going to make 6 little folders here, so we can keep all of our swatches all separate from each other. 5, okay. 6, okay. There we go. So logo 1 again is CMYK black and 1 Pantone, and it should be serious and fun. So let's keep in logo 1. We want a color black. So you want the tree black. In this case, I think I'm going to keep the text black, and then I'm going to choose a Pantone for the logo or the tree here. So how you go about that is you go into swatches and you go into new color swatch, just like we did before. But in this time, we changed the color mode to, we click down here, solid coated. So Pantone plus solid coated. Now, ideally, you would have a color Pantone swatch book to really see these colors, and anytime you're going to be designing something very seriously, say a logo or some kind of branding or something really in particular, you're going to have your color swatch book next to you, your Pantone color swatch book. But in this case, you probably don't. You might have one at work. You might have one. So it's up to you. Since if you don't have one, it's totally fine. But you could just start picking some colors. I'm just going to add some colors, actually. I'm just going to start adding some really nice colors that I like. Oh, I don't know, serious and fun. Add. I'm just going to scroll down. Oh, that kind of looks serious and formal. Let's see, just going to start adding some colors. And you can see they're appearing in my swatch panel. I can now move them to individual folders. I'm just going to pick a whole bunch of colors here and see what comes up, what I kind of you know, maybe pick about 20. Add. Just some colors that kind of look pretty. So there we go for now. And then once you're finished picking them, you can press done. And now I've created this long list. So one thing to point out here is that you can see that the icon beside the colors change, and that's going to give you some information. If I just hover over it now, you can see that this kind of 4 triangle icon means that it's a CMYK color, but this kind of spectrum thing here, why is it saying lab? That's very odd. Let me go to, it's a CMYK, oh, saying lab. Anyways, I know that this little kind of back and forth means CMYK, or Pantone, sorry, excuse me, Pantone. And there are Pantones, we picked them. So again, so this is serious and formal. So I don't know, that kind of looks like a serious and formal brown. So that seems good to me in the one logo. So I'm just going to drag it down into the one folder. And I'm going to actually, yeah, you probably can't move that. No, the black there is fine. Let's do one more 4-color process. So you can pick in, what is it again? Serious and formal again. So maybe a pink and another kind of purple or pink, whatever looks good to you. And I'm now going to, what one was that? I'm going to drag that down into 2 and click on this and drag that color down into 2. So I just want to see you pick Pantones. I want you to, when the item says to pick a CMYK, I want you to make sure that that's CMYK, and I want to make sure that you're picking Pantones. When it says 4-color process, so I don't want to see, oh, I can see, yeah, so for logo 3 you have to pick 4-color process, no, sorry, for logo 2 you have to pick 4-color process. So this is actually wrong. This shouldn't be Pantone colors. These should be CMYK. So I'm just going to drag these back up, and we're going to make CMYK color swatches. So I'm going to now go into my color and CMYK, and I'm just going to change that, and I'm going to now go into CMYK. So now when I click on that, yeah, it's not showing up as a Pantone, but I still want to make a swatch. So I want to go new swatch. Okay, make sure it says CMYK. And I'm going to go click on that other color, new color swatch. Make sure it says CMYK. And I'm going to go OK. And now I have those 2 CMYK color swatches. So now I'm just going to drag them into the 2 folder. So you should have these 2 type of color swatch files. So these Pantones and these CMYK color swatches. So just depending on what you need to add for each logo, just make sure that you have the right color swatch or color swatch type for each logo. So 1 is going to be 1 Pantone in black, and then 2 is going to be 4-color process. So CMYK color swatches. Again, for this one, I want you to package. I keep saying export, package. And so yeah, it's going to want me to save it first. And this one's called logo. I'm going to put that on my desktop. And I'm going to call this Perone, last name, first name, logo. And just zip it again and upload this zipped or compressed file to the Dropbox in lesson 6.